Alright, so the rock is all cleaned up and ready to go. This is the aquarium that I'll be placing it into. And the next step is to reinforce this aquarium stand just so that it can handle the weight of the rock plus the added weight of the water. And I also have this cutting board that will help to distribute the weight of the rock on the glass so that it doesn't shatter. Alright, so I have the stack of index cards, and the plan is to place them underneath the glass. That way the weight of the glass can be supported by this stack of cards. Alright, so the index cards are in, and next thing is to add the cutting board right in the middle of the tank. And this is where the rock will sit, and I think that'll protect the glass even more. Alright, and here is the reinforcements for the fish tank stand. I just painted some 2x4s in black and drilled them into the frame of the aquarium. Hopefully this can support a couple 100 pounds of weight. For the substrate, I'll be adding around 20 pounds of Fluval stratum, and the plan is to have a lot of plants in this aquarium, so this type of substrate will really help me out, keep all of those doing well. And here was the hardest part of this entire process, was getting this 80 to 100 pound rock into the aquarium using a ladder and a desk, so it ended up going well. Alright, and here's the plant selection for this aquarium. So it's going to be a combination of red plants, moss, some different styles of hair grass, and a carpeting plant, Monte Carlo, plus some green rotalas and red rotalas. And I'll be trying out two new different kinds of plants, this Cryptocorinne and this Echinodoros foreground style plants. And the total for this came out to $177 for all of these plants. Alright, so all of the plants made it in, and we're gonna get started on figuring out where each of these is gonna go. Alright, here is the filter I'll be using. This is a Aqueon 200 canister filter, and had a lot of good reviews, so I decided to check it out. This is the first time I use one of these filters, so hoping it all goes well. And I definitely know they do a good job from everything I've read. So it was a bit of a space crunch next to my desk here. So another thing is that I couldn't use like a hang on back filter, so I just kind of set this up next to the window and got everything set up. And once I got everything set up, one of the things I really liked about canister filters like this is that you can control the direction or the pressure of the flow anywhere you want it to go in the tank. All right, so here is the CO2 system I'll be using. I have a 5-pound CO2 cylinder, an F-zone CO2 regulator, as well as F-zone CO2 tubing. And then on the left side, I have a diffuser kit. And on the right side, I have a CO2 drop checker. And to finish setting up the system, I put the diffuser in the water, connected it to a bubble counter, which goes on the regulator. And finally, I turn on the system to adjust my flow rate of CO2 into the aquarium. And it has this fine adjustment on the bubble counter. And once that's running, you will place your pH checker in your aquarium, and this will react with the water to indicate a green, good level of CO2. After a couple weeks, some of the plants were doing really well and some were still adjusting, so I continued my fertilizing and CO2 injection. And to cycle the tank, I would take water from one of my other aquariums and add it to this aquarium, and I did this for a couple days until I felt it was ready. And about a month later, I started seeing some hair algae appear on the Christmas moss, and to help out, I got 30 blue dream shrimp from my other aquarium and brought them in here, and they really cleaned up the place after just a couple days, and it looked a lot better. So I was thinking that the rock needed more moss to cover the surface area on the top, just to prevent a little bit of green algae. So I bought some of this Fissidens Moss and I glued it to the top of the rock. And I've never used it before, so it'll be fun to see how this type of moss grows and if it's anything like Christmas moss. So I covered a few spots in on the rock, and we'll see how it does in the next few weeks. And here is the last addition to this aquascape. So I went with 12 neon tetras, and the reason I picked out this fish was because I thought they would work well with the shrimp, and they also school a lot, and I thought it'd be cool to see them swim around in groups around the rock and through all of its little cave systems. And sure enough, as soon as I released them, they were swimming around all together, checking out the place, and it was really cool to see it.